now will be coming up after
Yes.
the Model T Fords.
And we'll take you through all of those. Yeah, thanks to Patrick Vermaak as well for the information and the photographs that he sent us and taken of all these machines out there. He's always got his ear and finger on the pulse, so it's always a good thanks to all of our photographers, all of our media folks that have provided us with so much useful information on many of the machines that you'll see going out onto the circuit today. Actually, it's not the whole set, I think, of Model Ts that will be going out. Only, I think, a handful of the original group. But I think, like you said, Frankie, I think they had too much fun on the first lap. They thought they'd have just as much fun on the second lap.
Well, if not, why not, eh? So, yeah. It's lovely today at Killarney. Great to have you people here. Those of you that are watching us on IMUSat at home, if you can be at Killarney, rather please come down here. There will also later on, Byron, be a parade lap for motorcycles. Although they'll probably hoof it a bit, the guys on the bikes, but man, it is a serious entry list of motorcycles, classic motorcycles from back in the day that will also be doing a parade lap, but that will be obviously a lot later on in the day.
Yeah, there you'll see everything from Manx Nortons to King Kenny's Yamaha for the yellow and white and black colors, and of course the Ducati Desmo in there as well. You can see a whole lot of classic Suzuki's, Yamahas, Hondas, you name them.
There's even an old Morgan three-wheeler with a bike motor.
Yeah, Morgan three-wheeler with a bike motor in it. So everything motorcycle is on that side of the pit area. Those classic motorcycles.
I want to go for a peek when it comes to the end. Just press this.
But we'll leave you to this for a little bit, and then when the next parade comes out, we will take you through that.
don't know.
I'll leave it there, it's already played with us.
I need something.
Yeah, okay, get
Can I get Byron? I think there should be one more noisy water there. Otherwise a normal one.
I'd actually love to go down there and speak to Gary and see what's happened there.
Did he just stop?
Yeah, I just, the last lap he pulled out outside turn 2.
Now I saw the car on the back of the flatbed going down that looked like a bit skiff to me. I don't know.
Have to work on those cars as a pitch. So they dropped the whole motor.
And I see number 19, Emil Buerta, was actually given the black flag because he ran out of pit lane to join the back of the Sports and GT guys, and the pit lane was closed. So he did a whole lap and was forced to come back in, and they called him to race control to give him a word. Oh, there's another load at T7. Wow, that is gorgeous.
It's a pity we haven't got any Porsche 917s
I was
here.
just about to say that reminds me of the old 9-hour. Okay, I wasn't around, but
The old Ferraris. 750s.
oh yes.
Yes, thank you.
Is that the last part?
The last of its kind.
Yeah. We'll have to speak to Supreme Leader about this.
Send more.
Yeah.
Send more warriors.
Up here to
Oh Lord, is it? Right guys, here comes the historic single-seater parade. this is going to be some lovely stuff. Oh, look at that.
That's what I'm talking
They're
about.
lighting up the track already, these guys, and it's going to be fantastic stuff.
All right, there we go. So the Mokko Formula 3 will be coming out. Former Frank Jelinski car. Frank Jelinski, of course, ran in European Formula 2 in the early 80s, but that was his bright yellow Formula 3 machine. I saw that Lola coming out there as well. Lola T70 joining the single-seaters. That's March coming out now. March 812. I saw that earlier on. The Martini colors was on one of those cars of Formula Ford. Actually, that's the 813 that's going out. We saw that one earlier on in the pit area. And then the Hawk Formula Ford going out onto the circuit as well. So we have a number of classic machines hanging out there. Of course, we have the racing happening between the 50s and 60s Grand Prix cars. That's, of course, Formula 1 and Formula 2 cars. But yes, that's the 813 March. Mike White's 813 March. Van der Velde, British Formula 3, going all the way back to the late 70s. And there's the 812 March. Beautiful stuff in those red Martini colors. The Formula 5000 is going to be running out as well now. And we'll open up onto the track with its high air box as the Lola makes its way past into turn 1. So only a handful of these historic single-seaters doing the parade today, doing a few laps to wind it all up. And we'll have some more parades from them in the latter part of the day as well. That, of course, will be the historic single-seaters. The Formula 5000 now making its way into that Castrol corner. Gingerly going at it, so doesn't have to go full tilt out of the box, but let her just do a few good old parade laps as the Mokko Formula 3 comes past our position. The March 813.
These two guys are sending it.
I'm sure the neighbors complaining about noise generally when people have a good Saturday.
Do you drive anything faster?
Well, this is a really lovely sight to see these cars going around. I would have expected, Byron, that the driver of the Formula 5000 would have hoofed it a bit, but that car is heading into turn number 2 right now, into Castrol Corner. That is a lot of V8 under that motor car, but just taking it gingerly around as you've got a few of the guys that are just going around here as quick as they possibly can and having a bit of fun. But Byron, in general, it's a lovely sight. Some of the guys are going quick, others are just idling around to show off the motor cars. But yeah, still lovely to see these things out on the circuit.
Yeah, some of them are, like you say, Frankie, just really going out there and having a fun time. That Formula 2 march, the Martini march that goes through the kink now, there's some beautiful sounds coming from these motor cars. That march, of course, goes all the way back to the late 70s for the likes of Mark Sura, who drove for the official BMW team in that era. Actually, the one after that one was the 812 march. And well, that one was just the pre 1980 one with the front mounted radiator. The number of that one escapes me.
But Byron, March has got a long history as well in motorsport. They even had, I think the last March, now rectify me if I'm wrong here, the last March car in F1 changed its name to Leighton House.
And then back to March.
And then back to March. And then that ended the era of March in F1.
Yeah, March started out with a 701 in 1970. Max Mosley, who was one time head of the FIA, actually started that team along with Alan Rees and Graham Coker, as well as Robin Hood. They went racing. Of course, Jackie Stewart won one Grand Prix in a March, which was run by Tyrrell. But yes, you are quite right. They disappeared for a few years, came back, then became Leighton House, then went back to March, and one of the men who raced in that very last March was Jan Lammers, who's been a guest here at Killarney in the past as well. So that you'll go all the way back. You'll go all the way back to 1992 Australian Grand Prix, when it was the last time a March was in a Grand Prix. And they were quite a brand, because what happens is they ran Formula 2 cars, they ran Formula 3 cars as well. They were actually big into the customer car business, like at one stage Brabham was, Lotus was, and of course in subsequent years after that, Rolt, Ron Toranak's Rolt, that came and had some great success in Formula 3. But yeah, Jordan, you're actually speaking about Jan Lammers earlier on, and his car is around here.
I don't believe he's here today, but I mean, his car is, you know, a piece of history. He's a piece of history, if I can say. And seeing international cars come down here and, you know, drive around our just local circuit, I mean, it's amazing.
It's great to have names like Jan Lammers around as well. He came last year, if I remember. Of course, a man that's very involved with the management of the Zandvoort F1 circuit, and a good friend of the Verstappens as well. So that's a man that's really in the know as far as things are concerned. But enjoy these Formula cars and the one sports car, the Lola T70, that are going to be coming into the pits now. And they have concluded their parade for the historic single-seaters.
A bit of information here on March. They did 207 races, Byron. They had 3 wins, 5 poles, 7 fastest laps, 173.5 points, no driver or constructors titles. The very first race for March was the 1970 SA Grand Prix, and the final
position in that race,
was the
Frankie.
1992, as you said, the Aussie Grand Prix for March. And their last win was the Italian Grand Prix in 1976.
Ronnie Peterson, 1976, 761 March.
So that's just a little bit of information that I went to go look up here on Google for March race cars.
I'm sorry I just butted in there, Frankie. It felt like a quiz night, so I had to just jump in there and complete your sentence over there. My apologies. But there was some magnificent stuff. We are going to be moving on to the Lauda Classic cars now, and that, I think, is going to be a humdinger of a race, because we've got some extra guests as well. We usually always have a big field for the Lauda Classic cars, but it's always great when they add a few extra to the mix.